A teď už tady vítám z Berlína. I would like to welcome, I don't know if I will say it right, but Maren Miehe, is it okay? Yeah. So please, can you come to us? And Maren, she's also thinking like about the future for the young generation, for the young people, like what's going on with our planet. And so she will tell you more. Okay? Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you for the warm welcome and having me. Yes, I'm Maren, and I'm from the German Transport Club, and in the next few minutes I'll try to give you an as transparent as possible insight into our work. Which green? Ah, perfect, thanks. Yeah. So I present my organization, or the one I'm working for, shortly. Briefly explain how we usually work, and then I go into more detail with one of our projects that focuses on the independent and safe mobility of children. So we are a non-governmental and non-profit organization. We've been active nationwide and regionally for 35 years now, so we can rely on quite a bit of experience. By now, we advocate for societal concerns regarding transportation and put them on the political agenda to achieve socially just, safe, healthy, and climate-friendly transition of transportation. We are supported by 55,000 members and activists, and we see ourselves as the representation of interests of all environmental conscious people. So, as I said, the overall goal is mobility for everyone. Therefore, we lobby for livable cities, climate-friendly transport, clean air and less noise. We want more space and safety for pedestrians and cyclists, comfortable, safe and affordable public transport, and overall that vision zero, so no death in traffic and road accidents or seriously injured people. And as you can see, we don't only focus on pedestrians, but on a wide range of topics because we want to keep the big picture in mind. And working for one is also working for the other in the best case. So how we work, we are organized as an umbrella organization that benefits from further subdivisions in local and regional groups. We have expert groups people can join. For example, groups that only focus on pedestrians and walkability, but also on cycling or e-mobility. We rely on a broad network, so we have access to recent results from research, and yeah, for example, with universities. And one of the benefits is that the knowledge transfer works in every direction on that. So one example how a member, or how we benefit from members and experts, we have obviously a website, and one of our members from Cologne published a blog post recently, which is called The Unknown Mode of Transport. So he usually organizes walks around Cologne and takes interested citizens and politicians with him. They walk around Cologne and they identify challenges pedestrians face. So he wrote them down and suggests solutions for the obstacles in the public space. And yeah, so we put that on the website for everyone else to read and learn from their experiences. And on top, we, as the umbrella organization on national level, translate his experiences into political demands. As you may have heard, we had recently elections in Germany, so we voted for a new government. And one of our tasks also includes that we, before election, we scan the programs of the different parties and how far they support our demands. And this time we did it for, those are basically the demands that touch walkability, and only one party. Here you see. On the far right, it's the Green Party, so the environmentalists, is including all our demands in their programs and also suggests measures how to improve walkability. The last point on the slide, more space for children to play in public areas, is also the transition to the project I want to present in more detail. As we heard yesterday from some of those interesting talks, children's interests are rarely taken into account in nowadays planning. Public spaces reflect less and less the living environments of children, and we know livable cities are based on infrastructures that benefit all. So one of the starting points for the German Transport Club is that we believe that educating young people is a key element for sustainable mobility, because their behavior will influence on how far greenhouse gas emissions from transport sector will be reduced in the future. So we start at a very young age. We have different offers, we have books, we have more practical exercises, and yeah, it goes to the age of 27 at people at universities. So I present you the second on the list. It's in English, walking to school and kindergarten. And the overall goal is to encourage children, parents and teachers to walk or cycle to school. And we try to motivate them by communicating the benefits of active mobility. So children learn how to behave in road traffic and may even have fun with physical exercise or activities. Parents see that they don't have to be worried about their children when they are alone on the way. And teachers and educators benefit from the positive effects of children's daily exercise, and of course the environment, because we try to reduce traffic. I don't know if you're familiar with the German term Elterntaxi. It's well, it is basically when the parents drop off their children in front of the school with a car, and so it's parents' taxi. Yeah. Yeah, so our first approach was to try to communicate the benefits and show how you can do it. We are supported by different organizations to do that, and basically we shared different tasks. So the German Transport Club, the abbreviation is VCD, is responsible for public relations, and we are support for schools or parents. And we also purchase and distribute campaign materials, where one of our partners, the German Child's Aid, is, for example, taking care of the website. Yeah, so since 2008, we've been organizing a campaign period of 2 weeks each year in September. And the participation is free. You just register on the website, and there you can also share your experience from whatever you have been doing. Then we realized, well, okay, there are lots of people participating in our campaign week, and they're really interested, but we don't really see a change in reality happening. So we now try to focus stronger on political stakeholders, because we need a political framework and a legal framework to make those challenges become real. Yeah, so we do that, for example, by commissioning studies and translating also what is the outcome in political demands, and talk to politicians. So one practical example is the walking bus. It's basically like you walk to school along a fixed route, and in the beginning you're accompanied by an adult or an older kid. So like a real bus, walking buses have designated bus stops and pickup times along a fixed route. What do you need to organize a walking bus? Yeah, you need other motivated parents, school friends, or classmates, and a platform to communicate. Step by step, you motivate other parents. Why not when you drop off your child, for example, and pitch the idea. When you found enough parents that are interested, you start the route planning, so who lives where. This is important when you decide on which way your children should walk to school. You shouldn't focus on the shortest way, but on the safest. Then you can set up a walking schedule, so when do you start and when to pick up the people along the route. This is easily be done when you do a pilot run, so you can estimate the time it takes from one step to the another. You organize a companion in the beginning. This is good for both sides, so children learn the way and parents see that they don't have to be don't have to worry about their children. The final step then is to set up bus stops along the route. This is where this should be places which are easily to access by children and where they're not in the way of other modes of transport. And you can also highlight them with some signs, so you also make it more visible for the public that you're organizing something fun. Yeah. But you should maybe talk to the authorities before hanging up signs. In Germany, for example, it's not allowed to do so without permission. Yeah, we offer all the information online, so you can download it for free or order it in a print version. And next to the organizational information, we also share legal advice in case you have thoughts about insurance while being on your way with other parents' children. So in the end of the campaigns, we pick winners. Last year, it was a primary school from Berlin who blocked the street for cars for a whole day in front of their school. We had some examples yesterday. Yeah. So sharing the results and experiences done by the website. This allows for learning and adoption of actions elsewhere, and of course also help to avoid challenges others faced elsewhere. Yeah. So, last but not least, we demand to ensure participation of children and young people in planning processes, build infrastructures, and optimize them for children's needs. An overall limit of road traffic. So what are our achievements? We've been experiencing a growing interest of the public and also from politicians in our topic. We are approached by the press, by daycare centers and local authorities who come with questions and ask for advice. How can we do it in a more permanent way, and how to communicate our demands to parents. And last but not least, we like to show our number of participants, that there's really a lot of people interested, although we had, of course, kind of a decrease during COVID when it was only 31,000 participants, but we are now on a good way to the number before COVID. Yeah, and on the right, on the picture, you can see like one of those absurd situations in front of schools when children are smaller than the cars they'd been dropped off by. Yeah. So thank you for your attention, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You spoke about number of participants. You meant children? Do you measure, and how do you measure them?
I forgot to tell you that on the one slide I showed the website, a screenshot of the website. Can I go back some? But
red.
Well, you register with your idea online, and below you see the map of Germany, and every pin is one action, and behind this pin there's a formula. You enter how many children you reach with your action, how many people are involved, how long it goes, and so on. This is also important when we pick the winner, so we see how many people are influenced by that action.
Sorry, you register as a school or as an individual, as an individual parent?
Both. You can do it as a private person.
As a group or whatever?
Yeah. Just important is that you have this one person with their email address behind the formula. For example, you can register also as a school and implement a walking bus. Then it's like a official walking bus, which then has also another impression on local politicians and so on. It's easier to organize and other.
And one more question: if school is registered, do they tell you how many children got involved? Do they measure it?
Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you.
Hello. I've recently heard about a car-free initiative in Berlin, and I wanted to ask if you are somehow involved in it, and if you could tell us more about it.
Me personally, I'm not involved in that, but I can give you the idea behind it. So Berlin is organized in an inner city which is surrounded by an S-Bahn around it, and the main goal of this car-free initiative is to ban all cars from inside the circle. And in Germany, we have the law that you have to get a specific number of signatures from people who are in favor of your idea to make it part of the political discussion. And the initiative got, in the first run, enough signatures, so now they have their idea been discussed by politicians. And it's not banning all cars, it's just, I think private people are allowed to use a car 6 times a year, and people who are dependent on a car definitely can use a car, and also firefighters, police officers, craftsmen, they are also allowed to use private cars. Yeah, it's a really good idea, I think.
Hello, congrats on your achievements. I think many people will appreciate it, especially with practitioners. I'm actually from the other side of the spectrum of attendees. I'm from the Ministry of Regional Development, and I'm kind of lacking, in our country at least, the connection between the button, the ground, and the politics level. Are you? Do you cooperate? Do you have any permanent links with the, I don't know, with some authorities, Behörden in Germany, which support your activities, and do you report them, or if there is any set cooperation? I'm just wondering.
Between our organization and politicians?
Rather the authorities, like local authorities or regional city planning authorities, or even some ministries or Verkehrsministerium.
So we are obviously quite close to the Green Party, and there are some members in the parliament and different governments on different federal areas. So we obviously have good connections to them, but those are more politicians, not really the people who sit in the planning office of any smaller town. That is where our subdivisions, which are locally or regionally, sometimes are the mayor or have a contact to the mayor.
Okay, maybe one follow-up question.
Okay.
Some of you, many of us, haven't heard of something very good German achievement called New Leipzig Charter, and I'm kind of promoting this because this is about the transformative power of cities, policy document, and Germany is the kind of the father, the mother of this document, altogether with the other EU countries and cities. And I wonder if you set up, or if you were participating in some of the implementation kind of processes of such a document. I know it's a kind of vague stuff to talk about, but it concerns my work. And I'm trying to find the connections with the ground from the top, or how to say.
So me personally not, but one of our speakers for motorized individual traffic has been one of the advisors to people involved in the recent review of the Leipzig Charter. But we are more working like on urban and local areas. So we've been more involved in, I don't know if you heard about the Berlin Mobility Act, which it focuses mainly on reducing motorized traffic and promoting public transport and cycling and walking. But yeah, that's really specific and local.
Cool, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having
Thank you very much. It was very nice.
Thanks for the question.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.